Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, here's our sleeve. Let's see how it's going to go on. And it goes this way. And this part of the shaft is the same all the way down, of course. And looks like we've got a nice fit. Now, the other side of this goes in, and we're going to spin you around here. Goes in the table mount itself, and that's going to fit pretty nice. It looks like it might be a bit big, but I think we'll just toss it onto the, it might have an edge there too. We'll just toss it onto the lathe and sand it down a little bit or file it and get this thing to snug down real nice. Then once we get this in, we come back in and we'll spin this around so you can see. We'll come in, take out this bolt and split that right down the center. Well, I've had a few people contact me and say, you know, I subscribe to your channel, but I don't get emails every time you put something up. And so here's a way you can get an email every time I put something up. You know, I put things up every Sunday for sure, and sometimes on Wednesdays. So take your little arrow and run it over to this. If you haven't subscribed, you can click this right there, and it'll subscribe you once you're on my channel. And then, but if you have subscribed and you want to get emails for sure, you can go over to this little gear right here. See it? Click that, and it'll say, send me all notifications for this channel. Click that, and then save, and you're set. Hey, let's get on with it. Okay, we dropped the cylinder on the lathe and just kind of cleaned up the exterior a little bit with the file and a little bit of sandpaper, and then got it to size. So now it's a snug fit most of the way down. And then if I just take a little bit, and I do want this expansion, and if I just take this and tap it a little bit, it drops right in where it belongs. Now, that done, we can bring this over, and we're going to spin you around. Well, we'll just be back. Okay, let's put this on and see if it's going to fit. Just like it's supposed to. Nice and snug. Now all we have to do is cut the slot to get it to expand and contract. So, and that I think we'll do another day. We'll be back. Okay, what the hell? We'll just do it like it is. It's not going to take but a few minutes to get this thing straightened out. Okay, there. We'll come in and split it later, but for now I want to see how it's going to look on the whole shaft. Okay. This goes into here. All right, so then what we need to do is take this out, and we have to expand it to do it. Put the rack in. Then put the sleeve back in. Oops, I see a problem right away. Maybe not. Yeah. We need to notch this one area here so that the gear can fit. And so we're going to, we will call it a day after all. Okay, so we've got our sleeve set up in the Bridgeport. We got everything squared up one way and the other, and the head squared. And we're just going to run a line right down the center of this sleeve and open that up so we can use that, so that can expand and contract. So we're just going to take it in, drop it down. I think I'm going to take it in a little further. Spin it, and let's see how fast we're going to travel here. No, we definitely want to travel slower than that. Something like, oh, I'd say right about there. No! Stop! Stop! Oh, that's a mess. Okay, so we didn't tighten it up. All right, let's turn it off. You know, you do everything and then pull some bonehead move like this. All right, let's just bring it back to here. And we have a little burr right there. All right, this time we're going to tighten it. And then we're going to move to someplace close to center. It doesn't really matter. That would be about center. Now this time we'll come in by hand and bring it in and get it started. Well, wait a second. We want to get the speed started first. All right, now let's get a little oil. We're going to muscle our way through this thick stuff, and then once we get to the thinner stuff, we'll be able to put it on auto. All right, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. It sprung out, and which means that I'm going to have to press this in order to get it into the sleeve itself, and it'll always push out on that sleeve. So that's going to be perfect. So we're going to be back. Okay, so we cut our slot in our sleeve. Now we got to come over and open up an area so that the gear can slide back through there. So I've already rotated it and we're all set to go. All we need to do is start cutting. Now the problem is that I should have done this first because now the sleeve is springy, but I think I can just kind of go real slow and take it easy, and it should be reasonably okay. Nope, it's not going to be reasonably okay. All right, so we're going to have to do this another way, and another way would be just to put it in the saw, either that or just grind it out. I mean, that's probably the best approach. All right, so we're going to take that over to the grinder and we'll be back. All right, let's whip out the grinder and see what we can come up with. This ought to do the trick. All right, let's give this a try. We're going to slide that down. Now we have to compress it in order to get it to fit, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Right down into place. Well, I think we're not all the way down yet. Close though. Little leather mallet work, how's that? There we go. Nice. Oops. Okay, so this fits. Now the other part is, this is just slightly off from that groove there, which, you know, I don't think it's an issue because we're expanding and contracting to grip and to let go of. So not that big a deal. All right, I think we're set to go here. Let's take it over and see how it's going to work. All right, well, first thing we have to do before do anything is get all of these grumbles off of here. Not too difficult. Let's come in from the other side. Okay, let's give this a try and see how it's going to fit. First thing we do is slide oh yeah, nope. First thing we do is take the sleeve back out because the bar has to go in first. Oh yeah, getting that out is going to be fun. I'll be back. All right, so come in with a big pair of pliers, squeeze that, and it pops right out, we hope. There it comes. Drop that there. Put our, you know what, I want to put some grease in that because that needs a little bit of help. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so we oiled that baby up. You can kind of see the white grease in there. And we put the rack in. And then once the rack is in, we put the sleeve in. All right. And that needs to go just a little bit more. Okay, we got it in. We're all set to go. Blow out some of the dust. And let's slide it over the top here and see what we come up with. Something's holding us back. There we go. There it is. Most of it. Yes. The rack goes up and down. Let's take the rack down and slide it into its little groove. And this thing goes up and down without a problem. Except it's coming up. It's sliding with the chuck itself. So we've got to figure out some way to keep that in there. I'm thinking just a small little clip right here would do it. You know, more hassle than I want to deal with, but if that's what has to happen, that's what has to happen. There we go. Now we're back down where it belongs. And this works. We'll put our ring back on. Now the head's never going to be up this high, so we don't have to really worry about that too much. Oops. A little bit off. Nice. Okay, so now up, and we want to come down. Looks pretty good. They were coming down to the bottom here to see if that one repaired gear, you know, where it connected, is gonna mesh. No problem. Yep, very good. All right, let's put the platform back on. Well, you can tell this was made back in the 80s because these days it's a little piece of tape with the degrees on it. This has got an actual piece of aluminum or something like that with the degree numbers embossed in it or painted on it. I'm not sure. Painted on it. But it's in good shape. Not that we're going to use that because any kind of angular work probably just use the mill. Okay, we got everything back in place. We got it somewhat squared up. We'll come in later and tram the surface of the table. We're let's get the table and put it back in place. There we go. Table's in. Let's see how it cranks. It cranks beautifully. And at some point or another, I'm going to bolt these things to the floor. Just not quite yet. Up, down, no problem. Okay, so next is the sleeve for this upper piece right here, and where the head comes on, goes on, and so we've already got that measured out. We're going to go over to the lathe and start cutting.